EGM Network.
Welcome to Classic Car Radio. I'm Keith McDonald here with Mike Carano. Steve Charbonneau could be on his way here in a little bit.
He should be.
He's spraying some clear coat, and he's got to get that done before he can leave the car behind. And he's only working, 2 miles away?
Well, not even.
Yeah,
not even.
He's pretty close.
Plus, I disrupted him to have him drill out a couple of things for me.
Mike brings his Pontiac parts down there. He's such a Pontiac guy now.
Oh, big Pontiac.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to wing this show today because...
you screwed up.
Because I messed up sending the file down to the station, so you're going to have to bear with us. That's all, but we have plenty to talk about.
Yeah, right? I tell you, I've been doing this Pontiac, and let me tell you, it's the Pontiac from hell. Every time you get a part, you think you got it, wrong part, or it's not the right size, or whatever. So right now we're putting disc brakes on. So we got the upper and lower control arms. We got.
Is that a conversion from drum?
Yeah. Yeah, because it was 4 drum all around.
Yeah, okay.
So you have to buy the right parts. You got to get all and to get parts. I mean, Steve will tell you, getting parts these days is just horrible.
And it's 64 Le Mans, right? Or
64 Pontiac Le Mans convertible.
Wow.
It's just not just Pontiac parts, it's Chevy parts. It's all parts in general. You just can't get them.
Right.
Nobody's got anything, or they'll tell you, oh, we got it in stock. We ship it right out, and then you wait a week, and you don't get a confirmation or anything, and you call them up. Oh yeah, no, we don't have it in stock.
Wow, but they take your money.
Oh, they'll take your money right away. Yeah. They got no problem with that.
They're waiting on that container ship from China.
Right.
It's not coming because there's a tariff on it now.
Well, the only thing good about it, all the parts that I get are made in the USA.
Yeah, which
is good.
Yeah.
So that's all. I mean, I get all the suspension parts I get from Performance Online, all made in the United States.
That's good.
So we'll see what happens.
I think if you went to Ames Performance or Performance Years,
right?
They specialize in Pontiac.
Yeah.
I think all this stuff's made here. I don't think there's any Chinese to be found.
No, I
mean, I dealt a lot with them with my 72 GTO. I got a lot of parts.
Right.
From Ames Performance up in New Hampshire.
Right.
Really, really trustworthy company.
Yeah.
And I think they were bought out by Performance Years about 10 years ago. I used to write for Performance Years, their monthly newsletter and stuff, and they were good guys too.
Yeah.
So
very
honest. Everybody
you talk to is dealing with the same thing. Parts, everybody's parts, back order, this, that, and the other thing. So I know whenever I get parts for the AMX, that's always out of country.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always coming from a different place for some strange reason.
Okay.
So
it's funny how other countries ramp up their tooling to make American parts for because classic cars.
Everybody's looking for them, and if you don't make them, where else are you going to get them?
Yeah, that's the problem I have with the GTO. To buy a good set of trim, just trim around the wheel wells, trim, you could not find them anywhere.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to buy them, just those little pieces of tin.
Yeah.
Like they look chrome. They're not even chrome.
No.
But they were $240 for the set.
And they usually don't fit. A lot of times, like any kind of trim work that I'm looking for around the wheel wells or anything like that, I call Desert Valley Auto Parts.
Right.
They usually have cars in stock, and they'll take them off for you, and they'll ship them right out to you, which is great. They're really good guys out there. I haven't had any problems with them.
So, have you got parts for the Le Mans?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. I've gotten parts from them. So now I'm looking. I need a starter, and I don't want to get a giant starter like the starter that was in. That thing is huge.
Yeah,
and it just wires wrong. Everything about it is wrong.
Yeah. No, it's
maybe
just
because
Pontiac.
it's a Pontiac. Yeah, everything about it is. You're still dealing with General Motors, but it's completely different.
Yeah.
Than a Chevy, and that's what I did. It's driving me crazy, trying to figure out.
It's almost like they do it on purpose to differentiate the divisions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I tried to order a mini starter through Jegs, and also Summit, and the years only go down to 65.
Oh, gee.
So I could get a 65 326 starter from them,
Yeah.
But when you call them and say, will it fit a 64? Nobody could give me an answer.
They don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all got to be the same. What's the difference between a 64 326 and a 65 326?
Exactly. Yeah.
Should be the same thing.
Yeah. So did you try getting one?
I've tried, and I'm waiting for Summit to call me back. The people from Jegs have one. I don't listen. I don't mind getting a mini starter for like $200, $250.
Yeah.
I'm not paying $500 for a starter.
Oh no,
I'm not going to do it. And that right now, that's the price
that's
right now.
That's what Jegs wants?
Jegs or Summit.
Oh no.
Jegs has one that's $180, but it's for a 65 through 70 326.
Right.
So I've called Jegs today. The guy's going to look it up for me to see if it'll fit. I gave him the numbers of the old starter, and they'll get back to me.
I see. Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Interesting stuff, though.
Yeah.
And then switching over to a disc brakes, that's pretty extensive, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, because I also got, upper and lower tubular control arms.
Right.
So that's different. Then I got coilover springs in the front, so that changes everything around. So it's just getting everything on.
That piece you had in your truck was painted blue. Are you painting all the front suspension blue?
No, it's all.
You just did that. Why?
I did that because you can't see it.
Oh.
And I had to take it off the old drum.
Yeah.
To put it on the back of the new brakes.
Right.
And I said, it's hard. I'll just paint it blue. You're not going to see it anyway.
Right.
So I just painted it blue, but everything else is black or chrome.
I see. Okay.
That's on it. So.
Okay. Okay, good.
And that's about it. That's what's going on with the Pontiac.
Okay.
My 55 is painted.
Yeah.
It looks good. If I should have sent pictures to Jesse, but it looks pretty good. He's putting all the chrome back on. It's getting all put back together. So we'll see what happens when that comes back. And that's really it. That's all I got.
Okay. Yeah.
I got a car show. We'll push this one.
Oh yeah, what's the Father's Day show? Like
Father's Day.
6 weeks away. You're gonna push that?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? There's nothing else coming up.
I mean, there's a lot of cruise-ins and stuff, but I haven't.
We should really cover those because we got nothing.
Yeah. Well,
the show files are sitting on my laptop at home right now.
The cruise-ins are Saturday night up over here in Vero Beach at Oslo Road in US 1.
We call it the Billy DeArden Show.
The Billy DeArden Show.
At McDonald's. Yep.
Then there's the Monday night up over at the Sandwich Shack.
Right.
In Sebastian. The TA truck stop, I still haven't heard from anybody whether that's still going on.
Right.
It usually dies down now or next month. So they might have had their last show. I'm not really sure.
Oh, no, is that being taken over by tuners?
I don't know.
I
couldn't tell you. I haven't been there in a while because each time I brought my car there, I broke down on the way home.
Nothing wrong with tuners, but they open up the backs of their hatchbacks and they blast out rap music.
It's all radio. Yeah. And that's the only thing. That's why I stopped going to my buddy Scott. He owns Showin'.
Yeah.
So he does a lot of stuff with the trunks of cars. He puts speakers in. He does a lot of electric stuff. And he would do a show.
Yeah.
And we used to go to him. And, Hot Rods would be there. And then you get all the tuner cars. And you're sitting there trying to talk. And all you hear is this blasting music.
Boom,
out of
boom.
Yeah. It just drives you crazy. You don't want to.
What's weird is I went to a big tuner show like 5 years ago at the Indian River Fairgrounds.
Right.
And it was all, it was all Kias and Toyota.
Right.
A lot of, they're all lowered down, and there's some really nice wraps on those cars. Nobody was doing that. They must have had a rule like
there's no music.
Don't you all fight each other with your sound systems.
With the sound systems,
It was just nice and quiet, and they had like over 100 cars, and they were all, mostly. What's the most popular car they have? Those guys.
I think they're
Mitsubishi
or Nissan or Toyotas.
Nissan, yeah, Toyotas. Yep.
But these guys, I don't know how they do it when they lower the car like that, and you got the tires are sticking way
when they
out.
stance them out. It's ridiculous. There were some stance cars there.
And the tires aren't cheap.
Oh no, the tires they put on there are super, super wide. And then they put a lot of positive camber on it.
Right.
And then they're sticking them out of the wheel wells at the bottom, not at the top. The tops are tucked inside the wheel well. So they look like they're dink-toed, they used to call it.
Right.
When we were kids. I don't know if they still call it that. And then that outer tread wears out in like, I don't know, 2,000 miles maybe?
If you're lucky. I think
the whole way to the front end, front-wheel drive, engine, all that stuff, driver even.
Yeah.
And it looks ridiculous. But you know what my thought is on those things? They do that to show off their $2,000 wheel.
Right.
They get these great-looking wheels.
Yeah.
plus fours,
Yeah,
plus
they
3.
usually have lights on them. And,
and then they put those underneath and they light them up with LEDs and they look really sharp. But for people standing up to see them better, they tilt them out, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
I don't know where that came from. Probably, as usual, Southern California, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, the immigrants did that. So anyway.
Fine, let them all in and look what's going on around here.
Yeah. So,
I just don't get it. I don't get that whole thing. And then they put twin turbos on them, and then you're up around 1,500 horsepower with the car looks like they just bounce on the road. I don't get it.
I know. Yeah, so. And they go over. They come into a steep parking lot.
Right.
And in Florida, they got those they've got those deep ditches
for the water
to flow. And we get all that rain, with the torrential downpours, tropical storms, and they bump their front bumpers and tear them right off getting into a parking lot.
Or even the speed bumps. And they got to hit speed bumps with those.
They're way too low for speed bumps. So they really have to be careful. I don't know why they do it.
Yeah.
But it looks cool. I have to admit, I saw one coming down. It was really low, coming up behind me on my way here. And I was like, look at that thing. It was bright red Toyota, way down low, big fat tires. And I'm like, that thing must handle incredibly.
And they all sound the same.
Yeah.
They all give it that baller exhaust, which I can't stand.
Yeah. Yep.
It's very tinny. And
we call it the coffee can mufflers.
I just don't like it.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Right,
it's terrible.
Yeah.
We had those nice cars with the deep throaty. Even when we used those cheapo thrush mufflers, we sounded good.
All right, hushed thrush and cherry bombs. Right?
Yeah, cherry bombs.
What else can you do? Yeah.
Right. Good stuff.
Well, we'll go on a break.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Hopefully, Steve
when we come back, I went to the American Muscle Car Museum over the weekend.
Talk about that.
It was absolutely fantastic, and we're going to talk about that when we come back. We're American. No, we're not. We're Classic Car Radio. We'll be right back.
On the tape.
Welcome to Riverside Theater's Comedy Zone, where the comedy is wild, untamed, and downright hilarious. Hit the zone this Friday and Saturday night at 6:30 and 8:30 for the Treasure Coast's best live stand-up comedy show, featuring nationally recognized comedians with cabaret-style seating and food and drink table service. Buy tickets at riversidetheater.com and get ready for a night of non-stop laughs.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats and chairs, and all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal Coastal Living, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're also the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens and Polywood. We specialize in fire pits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Right now, we're having a spring sale with lots of great markdowns and discounts on everything you need for your Florida home, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories half price. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street, filled with lots of brand name closeouts and sale items. And visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
When the check engine light comes on, turn to Treasure Coast Auto of Vero Beach. Time for an oil change? Turn to Treasure Coast Auto of Vero Beach. Brake work, alignments, maintenance, and more? Turn to Treasure Coast Auto of Vero Beach. Your certified service center specializing in alignments, repairs, oil changes, radiators, brakes, even auto electric repair. Just east of US 1 at 1212 23rd Street, Vero Beach. Turn to the local mechanics you can trust. Treasure Coast Auto of Vero Beach.
Welcome back to Classic Car Radio. I'm Keith McDonald here with Mike Carano.
Hey,
we're still waiting on Steve.
Yeah.
Steve Charbonneau might be here.
He's clear coating.
He's clear coating a car right now, and he said, I'll try to get there. Maybe he'll be here halfway through the show.
And real quick, Jesse, how did the big downtown Vero go?
Was that the disco thing?
That went great, yeah. Downtown disco.
Oh, for gosh sakes.
Last Friday, big crowd. Great band. I think everybody had a good time. A lot of positive reviews. A lot of disco dancing going on.
Nice. Were you all dressed up? Did you have bell bottoms on? Or something?
I didn't.
No fancy.
Did you have some big heels on your?
You didn't dress like a pimp
shoes.
No pimp like with the two girls on both sides of you walking down the street.
Should have. You got to come up with this idea before the show.
Did you have your shirt buttoned down all the way to your belly button? So it showed your chest hair.
Big gold chain around your neck.
Yeah,
Did you look like Barry Gibb?
Next year. These are all great ideas for next year. Yeah.
And what's the next one? What you coming up?
So, coming up, it'll be the last Friday in May, and that's going to be May 30th, and it's going to be a patriotic theme.
Oh.
So dress up in your red, white, and blue.
Wow,
and,
that's great.
Yeah, we got a band. We got entertainment. It'll
What do
be
you have,
free.
Ted Nugent, maybe?
No.
You need some Kid Rock, right?
No. Nope. It'll be a local band.
Good.
But,
I figured that.
Yeah. I
And
know you're joking.
that's the Friday after Memorial Day, correct?
The Friday after Memorial Day, May 30th.
So even I know there's a lot of classic car guys that go to that. So just let them know that that's when the date is, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, and a lot of people say I don't know where. Well, not a lot of people. I've heard one or two people say I don't know where the classic cars are, but they're right behind the stage.
Right behind the stage.
And there's so many of them, and they're so awesome. There's like 30 or 40 of them back there.
Yeah, how do you not see them?
I don't know.
You know?
I don't know how they miss them, but they just go to the left or to the right or in front of the stage. They don't go behind the stage. But behind the stage is where all the classic cars are, and it's a beautiful setup.
There you go.
They did. I've been to a couple where they were behind the stage.
Right, right.
Yeah. It's a smart thing to do because that road is shut down anyway for downtown.
Yeah.
Downtown Friday.
You can't get through anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Good idea. Very good.
Thanks, Jess.
Thanks, Jess.
Got to promote you guys once in a while over there. You know that.
That's right.
That's right.
Appreciate it.
And Keith, you went to the big show this weekend.
Yeah. I went to up to American Muscle Car Museum.
Right.
And that was for the Alzheimer's barbecue, which they have every year.
Yeah.
I believe there's been. It looked like there was about 20 that they've had so far.
Has it been that many?
I don't think that it's been around that long.
I've been in Florida 12 years, and I think every year they've had it since I've been here.
Okay, so they
it's
had
at least
a plaque
12
up
or
there
13.
that said previous winners, and they showed all the cars.
Okay.
All Mopar.
Yeah, all Mopar, yeah.
Mostly Barracuda,
Right.
Chargers, Challengers.
All Roadrunner.
Roadrunner, yeah. GTX.
GTX, yeah.
And so the GTX, the orange GTX, went out to some guy down in Boca.
Was he there?
Like a guy in Boca can't afford to buy it himself. If you're in Boca, man, you don't need to win a car.
And I saw
you give it away to someone who needs it.
Right, and he had a list of guys. It wasn't just the GTX that was. They gave out a couple.
They
other
gave
things,
out a
right?
$10,000 prize. The second guy was like out in Arizona.
Okay,
He probably bought the tickets online. Wasn't even there.
probably. Yeah.
Another guy was from another state. He won $5,000 travel voucher.
Oh, nice.
So, and the guy that won the GTX, that orange GTX, he got $7,500 in cash to pay the IRS.
Oh, the taxes, right?
Yeah,
right,
so he doesn't have to. He might have to pay a little more depending on what the car's worth, but usually the IRS, they try to get you. But on the other hand, how do they appraise that car? Right. I mean, they probably just take the $7,500. I don't know.
Yeah, they'd have to just look in the NATA book, I guess. I don't know.
I just take the car and the 75. Put it on a container and get the hell out of the country. I go cruising around in Puerto Rico. Well, no, not Puerto Rico. They get you down there.
So I'm
only kidding.
None of the winners were at the place.
I don't know. I wasn't there when they drew.
Oh, okay.
Because they drew late, like 5:30, and we were out of there. By that time, me and my buddy Mike, not you, but another Mike, my college roommate, our knees are shot. It's all hard. Right. There's no soft grass. Well, there is some grass there, but you're not on the grass. You're walking around in it's just all tile or concrete.
Right.
For $25, you get into the back, get to see all those hundreds of cars, literally $32 million worth of gorgeous cars, all shiny, all buffed out, perfect condition. Then you got a free meal out of it, pulled pork, coleslaw.
That's right up your alley.
Yeah.
Free food. Yeah, it's right up your alley.
And you baked beans, and then they had big, huge kiddie pools full of all kinds of soft drinks and water.
Nice.
So I could get my Coke Zero.
Right.
They actually had Coke Zero, which surprised me.
And how were the cars?
So the cars were fantastic. I mean, they even took some from out back and put those out front. And then they had some people that were invited in that were able to park out front too. So, I mean, it was just amazing. It was just an amazing day. You know, you could take a break and just go to the bar inside the building in the lobby area, which is huge.
Yeah.
There were 10 GT40s.
Oh, he still has them in there?
Oh, yeah. And the one in the middle is on a rotisserie.
Right.
Incredible. He's got way more bicycles now. They're all mounted way up high on a. He put like a walkway all around the top of that entry foyer, which is huge. It's bigger. It's bigger than a lot, a house lot in that entry area. But you could just go to the bar there and give me a Coke, give me a water, give me a beer. You could get free beer.
Oh, nice, even better.
Yeah, they had free beer outside at a big tent. Some local brewing company. I'm sorry, I forget their name. But it's another, Mark Pillock, he does a great, all his volunteers are there.
Yeah. And
they're very helpful, and they're very nice people. Just a fantastic show all the way around.
Do they give you a tour at all when you go there? Like,
no,
do they have their own body shop there, or you're just allowed to?
But you're not allowed out there.
Okay, you're only allowed to see the cars, either in the lobby or in the back room.
In the back room, the big, huge back room.
All right, now what car did you see that you really loved?
Well, of course, I saw a GNX.
Right, okay.
Buick's 87 Buick GNX, that's a car that I kind of covet.
Okay.
But if I had to, I think I would, there was a lot of Yenko Camaros there, 69. Probably would have grabbed one of those if I could have taken a car out of it. Right. Believe it or not, though, there was some gorgeous, and I'm not a Ford guy, but there were some beautiful Fords in the Boss 302s and 429 they have. They have, I think he had two beautiful, like grabber blue Boss 429. Probably would have gone with one of those. And he's incredible looking Mustangs, he's 1970.
Yeah, and he's big at getting the lower numbers, right? The lower.
Yes, he is. Yeah,
he likes to get them like under 10 and under.
He had the first Yanko 67 Camaro there that ever came out of Yanko Chevrolet.
Yeah,
I mean that's amazing.
Yeah,
he had a 75 Trans Am. That was my very first car when I bought my first new car.
Okay,
and that was a Yanko though.
Oh, really?
It was a Yanko Trans Am.
Never seen that.
It had been converted over. It was silver.
Okay.
With the bird on the hood and the race white. It had much fatter tires on it than the stock. And I think it had Krager rims, not Rally 2.
Okay.
Another thing I noticed, I brought it up on Facebook, was a lot of these Yanko Camaros, they had Pontiac Rally 2 wheels.
Yes.
Because they're lighter than the Chevy Sport rims.
Right.
The steel wheel plus the cap plus the ring.
Right.
They just can pop on these Rally 2 wheels, and they actually had a Yanko cap that would fit. And so these Yankos, like I saw 3 of them that had Pontiac
Rallies on, and they just changed the center cap to make a Copo.
To say,
and I read that
there was a Copo there too, 327.
Oh, okay.
I mean 427. Yeah. Copo was there, Camaro.
And I read they used the Pontiac rims because it could hold the wider tire.
Yes, that too. Yeah.
So I guess with all the horsepower, because those 427s were pushing over 400.
Oh, yeah.
27 horse.
Right.
They were closer probably to 500, and they didn't tell anybody.
Right. They couldn't because their insurance companies, the insurance companies didn't want to hear that they were over 500 horse.
And if you haven't been there, the American Muscle Car Museum is up on Sarno Road, right before 95 on
Sarno Road.
In Melbourne.
Melbourne, yeah.
Yeah.
3500 Sarno Road, Melbourne. And they're not open to the public. They're only open for charitable events. You can't just drive up there and go, can I see the cars? No, it has to be an event.
Yeah.
And I guess what Bill Albaugh said was that that's the last one of the season till fall.
Right.
It's too hot in the parking lot now.
Right. The parking gets a lot.
All right, we're going to take a break. Hopefully Steve will be here. We'll come back on the Patriot Radio in just a few minutes.